because you can have all the gifting you want. You can sing so melodiously. And let me say this, just because you can lay hands on somebody and heal, that's a gift. That's not character. Because God can give you the gift to get somebody healed, and then somebody else pump you up that your character can't keep you where your gift takes you. So now you got to understand this. Now he brings us to this particular hospital because he said bring them to the elder. Now the last time I checked when I went to Baptist, when you get sick, they bring you to the hospital. I'm sorry. When you open the new building, look for sick people to come in to the, I'm talking to no sick people in here. Because nobody in here is sick. Everybody here been delivered from cussing, drinking and smoking. Because you've been in, okay. Ain't nobody in here sick. Ain't nobody in here wounded. Thank you for recording this because I'm talking to those who just got the DVD, because I'm not talking to nobody in this church. There were no sick people in this. But if the truth be told, if God decided to peel back and look into your mind and show somebody what's going to, some of you sick right now. Sick here. Pastor, I ain't sick, I'm well in my body. But what are you thinking about? What are you thinking? Ooh, why do you come to church? And oh my God. Why do you come to church? What do you come for? Why they got me in last Sunday's message? What are you here for? This is not a social club. This is not a social club. Sorry, you came here, not come here to find your husband and your wife. This is not that type of event. Now, if it just so happened, God bless you. But when you get dressed in the morning, oof, he might be there today. Oh, she might be there today, the one that God said. What are you going to the hospital for? That's like going to the hospital planning on getting sick. What's wrong with you? I'm well, I just might get a headache. I'm here because I might get a headache. I'm here. See, the problem with some of us, I'm sorry, I'm talking to the people purpose on the DVD. This was sold into your life. That you might know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that might be sick. So what is important that we have to realize is if we're the hospital, if we're saying this is the hospital church, somebody here got to be a doctor. So, we can't have a church full of sick people. You can't. He said, listen, if there be any sick among you, bring him to the elders of the church. In other words, there ought to be somebody I can go to that can get me out of the mess that I'm in. But the problem is, how can you get me out of my mess when you in the same mess that I'm in? Okay. Now we got the blind leading the blind with a title. Okay. I'm talking to you on DVD with a title. So how you gonna help me? Somebody got to have on the white jacket with no stains in it. This is the hospital church. I'm sorry, this is the hospital and the house combined together. But this is the hospital church. Is that we're saying bringing the sick among you. How many of you would go see a doctor to perform surgery on you and he's blind? How many of you would lay down knowing that you're getting ready to have a tumor removed? And they say, what's wrong with the doctor? None, he's momentarily blind. Momentarily blind. So my cry would be, I'll be back when he get his sight back. But we do it in church. We walking around here blind, acting like we can heal people when we ain't got our own self together yet. Shh. I'm sorry. I think I better hurry up and shout them before we get up out of here. Because this is going to be a tough teaching lesson. Because listen, the hospital is requirements. Because there's too many. Ooh, let me say this, Bishop, if I can. There's more sick people than there are doctors. Say that. So as a doctor, you got to be able to make your rounds. And watch this, be able to discern what's wrong with the person in the room. Because what's wrong with this person may not be wrong with this person. What's wrong with this person might not be wrong with this person. So what happened is if you write the wrong prescription for the wrong person in the wrong room, So now you better be careful when you're trying to make your rounds. God calls me to be a prayer warrior. I'm an interceder. Yeah, what interceding for what? What are you doing, Hospital Church? What are you doing? God is planting churches on this side of town, other side of town. What are you doing? What are you going to do on the other side of town? See, watch this. See, the hospital over here is going to have to be different than the hospital on another side of town. Yes, sir. So that means you're going to have to offer more on one side of town as opposed to the other side of town. Okay, let me say this, might get myself in trouble. On this side of town, some stuff you might just have to give away for free. Yes, sir. Because of the income level. I'm sorry, because of the environment. I'm sorry, because of the atmosphere. But on the other end, you may be able to charge a little more on the other side of town, because on the other side of town, their income dictates more. Yes, sir. So are you liberal enough to not bash people because they're from another side of town? Shh. But remember, we're a hospital. Is there any sick among you? Bring him to the hospital. I'm sorry, the scripture say bring him to the church. But I've noticed this. I got one of my, I like to call him a practicing physician here with me. There's some tools that a doctor uses. And every now and then he try to throw those names at me. Some of that stuff I don't remember. I'm like, man, I don't remember all that stuff and the names. He tried to give me the details and the definition behind it. And I don't really know that. But there's one or two that normally sticks out to me. One is a stethoscope. It disturbed me when he began to show me the description of what it does. He said, watch this, Pastor. It's like an amplifier. What it does is it gets close to your skin and the listener can hear beyond your flesh. Okay. But here's the kicker. I say, I'm reading and I say, but what does it hear? It hears nothing but your heart. So no matter where I put it, it should be something on the inside of you. I should be able to hear your heart. Now, here's the shout. Blew my mind. I'm reading the stethoscope. I'm like, a stethoscope. That's right, stethoscope. See, you got to help me with the pronunciation. I got him here with me. He says, watch this. It amplifies your heartbeat to the listener so the listener can really hear what's going on. Okay, just in case you missed it, let's bring it to Kings Road. Your heart, I'm sorry, your mouth is with me, but your heart is far from me. So now the question that I ask you today at 7:35 is, what is your heart saying to God? Because I told you with that tool, that instrument, it's amplified because it's plugged into his ears. So when you really offer up a praise with your mouth, with my hands lifted up, with your mouth doing one thing, but he said, let me check what's on your flesh. Let me see what your heart's saying. Let me see, watch this. Let me see if your heart is in rhythm. Or is it out of rhythm? Because that's what's important, that your heartbeat is in rhythm. It is synchronizing the way that it should synchronize. Because at the hospital, you should be able to go to the doctor and say, wait a minute, your heart is out of rhythm. Matter of fact, let's hurry up and get out of here. There's one other one that caught my attention. That is a defibrillator. It caught me. Bishop, the defibrillator called me because I was there when the stethoscope, when my heart got out of rhythm and it actually stopped beating. But the defibrillator did this. It shocked me back into place. Okay. I missed it the first time too. It was a machine full of energy that once it got connected to me, they yelled a word and they say, clear. And I said, wait a minute, what's the purpose of the clear? He said, watch this, because who's ever connected to you can get the same shock you get. Who's ever in your area gonna get the same energy you get. So now, if you can't stand my energy, excuse me, neighbor, I gotta get my praise on. Clear, because I need to be revived. Okay, I'm trying. Let's act like we got some sense, house. I gotta act like I got some sense, because we are Now, here's the kicker. I got about 4 other tools, but I ain't gonna get rid of them today. Y'all watch this. Watch this. They took the defibrillator. Blew my mind. They never put the defibrillator on the person without putting something on it first. I say, what's the purpose of the gel? I'm trying to figure out, what's the purpose of the gel that they put on the defibrillator? He said, there got to be something that come between you and what's shocking you. There got to be something between you. Watch this. Because it'll help you brace for impact. Because somebody, I'm not trying to kill you. I'm just trying to get your heartbeat back in rhythm. And somebody's heartbeat is out of rhythm. And God says today is the day I stand in intercession for you. So okay. Last revelation. Let's God give me another one. You tell me if I'm wrong later. Everybody couldn't operate that machine. Now, the machine has the ability